I turned 40 this week, or as they say here in Mexico, I arrived on the cuarto piso, the fourth floor of life. Not in my hometown, not even in my home country, but in Guadalajara, a place that now feels more like home than I ever expected. I may be far from where I started, but I'm surrounded by friends, dogs, tacos, and sunsets, and the fire to finally finish a project I've been dreaming about for nearly 20 years. Let's rewind a bit. The weekend before my birthday, my friend Claudia and I drove 45 minutes outside of Guadalajara to Club Deportivo UDG, the University of Guadalajara's legendary sports club built in 1979. From the moment we stepped in, it was like traveling back in time. This place is retro luxury at its best. The grass was perfectly green, the trees tall and mature, and the buildings had that elegant, slightly weathered charm, like a well-kept secret from another era. Inside, locker rooms the size of apartments, weight room, steam rooms, billiards, sauna, even a non-functioning jacuzzi that still looked majestic. Outside, it felt like stepping back into a 1980s postcard. An Olympic pool, diving platforms, tennis courts, a racquetball court, a track, a restaurant, the sound of carne asada being prepped on the patio, and views of the Sierra de la Primavera mountains rising just beyond the fence. I hadn't been swimming in months, but that cloudy afternoon, with goggles, swim cap, and a full heart, I dove in. An hour of peace in the water was all I needed to feel recharged. Afterward, nachos with gloriously fake yellow cheese, because some comforts transcend borders. Heaven. When we made it back to Guadalajara that evening, we stopped near Expiatorio for some delicious tacos before heading back home. The tacos were heavenly, the horchata refreshing, and there was an American guy singing and playing guitar while we ate. On the last evening of my 30s, I climbed to the rooftop of my building. Just me, the city skyline, and Talking Heads' "This Must Be the Place" on repeat. The truth is, it was the place. Right there, right then. The view, the quiet, the rhythm of a familiar song. It all settled into one truth. Sometimes you don't find home. Sometimes it finds you. I woke up at 5:30 a.m. on the morning of my birthday, not to party, but to get a routine blood test. Welcome to 40. By 6 a.m., a line had already formed outside the lab. Back at home, I walked Kaya through the quiet morning streets, did a quick workout, and hopped in the shower, just in time to get a birthday call from my friend Michael in Spain. Claudia then whisked me away to Madalena, a lush brunch spot in a secret garden where the greenery feels like it's whispering good wishes. Fancy coffee, exquisitely made food, mocktails with edible flowers, which I enjoyed, desserts that were dangerously good, and even more nourishing conversation. It was so calm, so beautiful, but the day wasn't done. After a short meditation to pause the momentum of joy, I drove over to meet with Anna for afternoon pedicures at her favorite shop. One chair, one woman, one perfect hour of foot heaven. Later, Anna treated me to Anita Lee, a jaw-dropping restaurant spot where seafood meets surrealism. The curtains were made of mops. A sink faced a forgotten garden, and we were delivered creative cocktails and amazingly prepared and decorated food. I was happy, I was full, I was ready to crash. I took my dogs for a little potty break, but that's when Louise and Miguel showed up at my door, singing, candle in hand. I blew out the candle, made a wish, and said yes to everything. The boys then kidnapped me for one more birthday surprise. We went to Negroni's at Midtown Plaza. Fancy drinks, orange liqueur shots, tequila Aperol cocktails, and a slice of cake served with a literal firework. We laughed, lingered, enjoyed our drinks, and welcomed this next season of life. The rest of the week was a blur of celebration. Denise surprised me with a pastry from Ooh La La, and I had post-hot yoga, pizza, and cocktails with my friend Jackie. Saturday morning started slow with a 9 a.m. yin yoga at Arbol de Yoga with my teacher and friend Nadia. A 75-minute donation-based, heart-opening, body-soothing experience. Highly recommend. After class, we packed the car and headed south. Destination? Mazamitla, a mountain town bursting with life and color. On the way, we stopped in San Luis Soyatlán, a lakeside village known for its vampiros. But before that, I tried dragon fruit ice cream for the first time. Bright red, tart, ridiculously good. Denise got mango and dragon fruit, so I copied her. No regrets. As we entered Mazamitla, it reminded me of Colorado. Green mountains and trees, small town charm, and suddenly, quads everywhere. We kicked off celebrations at Aguacatlan. Great food, live music, and a surprise gift from Louise. A trans pride flag tattoo. Pride and joy on full display. As we left the restaurant, the rain came down hard, but the town never slowed down. It was packed with people, and statues of painted deer were placed all across the plaza. We wandered the center of town. Art on the walls, murals, live classical violin and piano drifting from the plaza, wedding bells, my first elote tamales, and a sunset that stretched across the sky like a painting. Through it all, Sonia, at 17 and a half years old, was carried like a queen. Kaya stayed loyal by our side, and a tiny leaf bug crawled into my hand like nature's birthday card. Our cabin outside of town, massive, gorgeous. Sitting around the fireplace, we enjoyed the final moments of sunset before the rain forced us back inside. Then we played Mario Kart, dominoes, and made s'mores with melted chocolate. A first for many of my friends. Life-changing. Denise mixed me a birthday cocktail. We sat by the fire, laughed, and stayed up way too late enjoying the magic of doing absolutely nothing together. The next morning, minimal sleep, maximal joy. We shared a giant, tasty breakfast of eggs, frijoles, salsa, quesadillas, guac, coffee, and the pleasure of each other's company. Denise, Kaya, and I hiked towards El Salto waterfall, passing luxury cabins that looked like forest mansions straight out of designer magazines. The trail was paved and a steady descent, and full of life, families, dogs, horseback riders. When we got to the waterfall, it was flowing beautifully from the rain. There were lots of people, but everyone was just enjoying the beauty of nature and getting lost in the experience in front of us. I managed to get some really nice drone shots of the place and the view surrounding us. Taking it for a little trip through the trees and the forest too. Denise and Kaya were quite patient as I got those shots. We made our way back into town and joined some friends at a restaurant for more drinks and company before we went again to explore the town. I strapped Sonia into a backpack so that she wouldn't miss the final wander through Mazamitla's markets. We browsed shops, admired murals, and soaked in the final hours of mountain magic. Eventually, it was time to head back to Guadalajara, but not before one last stop in San Luis Soyatlán, the birthplace of the Vampiro cocktail. If you don't know, a Vampiro is a spicy, tangy tequila-based drink served usually in a plastic bag from the roadside stalls. It's iconic, it's bold, it's delicious. As we drove back, the sky painted itself in pastel layers of pink and blue, a cotton candy sunset over Lake Chapala. It was the kind of moment that needs no filter and no explanation. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for long walks and quick swims, for friends who carry dogs and light candles, for surprise tattoos, sunrise yoga, and cocktails in plastic bags. This is Pato's Path on the 4th floor, a journey through beauty, love, growth, and culture in Mexico. Subscribe to follow along and keep walking this journey together.